Today, I'm making a video to tell another story. This time, I have decided to tell my story, my experience as a drummer. So, this all started freshman year of high school when I was a freshman, and very strange how it happened actually. I can't really explain how it happened, but the fondest memory I have was, weirdly enough, going through I'll show you. One day I was in the living room. This is on, and I went through this closet, and I don't know why I went through the closet. I went through that closet, and I, just so happened to found a pair of drumsticks. I didn't realize it back then, but, I, had, realized that I wanted to become a drummer. Back in freshman year of high school, I had no exact direction in which I wanted to, I didn't exactly know what I was going to do, basically. And, I started playing drums when I was a freshman. I didn't have a drum set back then. I used like tins, bins, boxes, stuff like that, and I basically, used to play drums on tins, bins, and boxes, and coins. I used a box of coins I used to use, and I used to take the little containers and fill them with coins. That would be hi-hat, but that was a drum set. When I was a freshman, I didn't, I was kind of experimenting, with music. I wasn't really into, I wasn't really necessarily into, anything like, such. I was just experimenting, and I say that one of my biggest regrets was not doing Cabaret night in high school. I didn't know about it freshman year of high school. But because, I only bring this up because I realized to myself, I say to myself, what would I even play? Because I didn't even know what I would have played back then. Because I kind of started out drumming. I wasn't exactly the best. I only started out. I wasn't exactly, I kind of just started playing drums. And, I, only started playing drums. And, I, never really had any experience with the real drum set. But, anyway, I had, played on my little makeshift drum set, throughout freshman year of high school. And that's how it was. I experimented, played different songs, played different music. Sophomore year of high school, some things happened. Some good things, but also some negative, not so good things happened. But I kind of grew and learned through those experiences. And at the same time, it's when I began to realize I liked rock and roll. And I realized my love for rock and roll when I was a sophomore in high school. My father got me this, I still have it, this, electronic drum thing. And, it's, I still have it, and, what else, I'm sorry, I was playing, and I still use my makeshift drum set, and I still use, that, anyway, I use both, especially Green Day. I started playing a lot of Green Day, listening to a lot of Green Day. Green Day has become my favorite band. They really have. I've, felt very, inspired by rock and roll, and that continued throughout junior high school, into senior year of high school. I'm so lucky that, I had a teacher in high school you know, I'm very thankful for her, and, you know, I cannot thank her enough for what she did. You know, I couldn't thank her enough for it. I'm very thankful for the, you know, for what she did, and like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. You know, if she's watching this, thank you so much. You know, I can't even begin to, you know, I can't even begin to tell you how appreciative I am. I love it. She had this, she had a family member, somebody who had this little drum set, and she says to me, you know, because I guess she found out I was playing drums because I mentioned it, or because, you know, there was this app I found online of drums, and I used to play it, and I was playing the Green Day songs, like When I Come Around, you know, my favorites, When I Come Around, Welcome to Longview, Welcome to Paradise, Basket Case, you know, songs like that. They were classic songs. But anyway, you know, and she, you know, helped me out by getting me this old drum set that wasn't used. You know, thank you so much to her again. I'm very thankful for that drum set. It is awesome. I still have that drum set. I've had it for over almost a year now, and it still works like a charm. You know, it's still a wonderful drum set. I love it. But, you know, that really inspired me. And since the new year, I've been using that drum set, and, you know, yeah, that's how it's been. And, you know, I've been practicing on the drum set. I've been playing all kinds of songs, you know, I remember I got into, you know, all kinds of stuff, like 90s songs, 90s bands, 90s, you know, stuff, you know, I Smashing Pumpkins, you know, Nirvana, Green Day, you know, I mean, I also do Evanescence, you know, because Evanescence is also a very good band. But, yeah, you know, I started playing drums, and, yeah, so that's my story of how I learned to play drums. And, you know, I realized that I, you know, had a talent for drumming, actually. You know, I realized I had a talent for drumming, and, you know, I, you know, recognized that that was a passion for me, drumming, playing music, you know, drumming, you know, I like the expression of music and the expression of values, the expression of feelings through music. You know, the same way, you know, that so many people do. You know, whether it's Linkin Park, whether it's Nirvana or Green Day, you know, they express themselves through their music, and they express how they feel about music. Which is so great. Sorry, the phone's ringing, whatever. Anyway, yeah, so, you know, yeah, so I started playing drums. You know, you know, my journey from freshman year of high school to now has been amazing. I've learned all kinds of drumming techniques. You know, I've learned how to play many songs. You know, I watch, you know, drumming tutorials. I watch videos of people playing drums. You know, I watch, you know, all kinds of ways in which people play drums. You know, so that's, you know, and I will show you my drum set, you know, in a minute or so. But yeah, you know, I love playing drums. I love to play music. Now here I have is a list I made. This is a list I made of songs. You know, these are songs, you know, that I have, you know, songs and stuff. Songs, you know, I play these songs regularly, you know. So now I guess I'll show you my drum set. I'm very lucky to have it. It's a wonderful drum set. I have the TV on, sorry about that. Sorry about that, I have the TV on. Anyway, here it is. Sorry. Here's my, oh, you can't see it. Sorry. Oh, no, you can't see that. Here's my drum set. Here's my drum set. As you can see, I'm very thankful to have it. It's an amazing drum set. Yeah, it's an amazing drum set. I just got the Crash Cymbal actually for Christmas. Best present ever. I don't even care about anything else. My drum set is like my favorite thing in the whole wide world. I love my drum set. And I love having my drum set. So now I'll play for you a little. That's, just a little something I could cook up. A little bit of my drumming. I can do a lot more, with my drum set and nothing. And sorry, that's from another. But yeah, that's a little bit of drumming I do. I wouldn't say I'm very talented, but I'm okay. I have, I can, keep a steady beat, but that's all for now. Tell me what you think. It's pretty cool. My favorite things to do, history and drums, which is, pretty cool. So yeah, tell me what you think, and see you in the next one. Bye.